Look, I I love conservation of free particles wave through system here, and this will work fine if you know what you're doing, but the problem with it is it's wrong. I mean, it's right in the way that field theory is broken, but you have to understand in order to do that, you have to be in an M1, not an M0, or an Ali for 1, not Ali for 0. Well, this is already away from it. It's like there is 0 and there is 1. They could be in superposition to each other if orientated that way. A low charge will give you a zap, alternating, or direct current to take down an elephant. A elephant. So what I mean is like you have to kind of start with at least the basic schematics of how the brain works and understand it, because that's all fire and signals that look like little flashes, but might put up a quadrant of your brain, right? And that's all A brain, A wave function brain. Zero would be the zeros and ones in that to break down the first equation A. Because remember, what we're talking about here is the conservation of potential in a free particle's wave function. It should distend E0 to E1. While passing through some field, it might give me a Notam's theorem about the inverse square law of maybe how that thing would act, or mathematically I could say it. Because of the result, factoring dark matter in its entirety would be a photon, or a gluton, a wind particle, affecting into the inverse square of the shadow's wobbles by not knowing its true physics, or motion position of the electron here. Because if I have that wrong, it'll skew ever so subtle much. 1 degree curvature of the universe. It's flat, it's curved, and it's also spiked immediately into some fucking dimensional object that we can't even quantify because it hits the limit. Anything under those states, quadrants of universes, Jupiter's 9.8 meters per second, adjusted, renormalized in the special relativity as the base M1 could correlate to A. The circuitry, the Arduino, barium, hydrogen, and tritium relative to helium, or 118 on the flow, or 119 on the periodic table, which would make mathematical sense given a wave function and metals that are all just shining, and sometimes they act in a gaseous way of that state in the environment to where the normal rule would be, but temperature is up or pressure is up, motion position change, and if you didn't know that, she'd G-lock on you, right? You'd be upside down. So.
At Lowe's, with endless ways to organize what you need, you'll find some of the peace of mind you want at prices you really want.
What else we got here?
Start the year fresh at Lowe's. Shop Lowe's Store and Save event now.
7 years ago? Nah, she might not be up to date. 13 years ago? Quantum entanglement? I'm sure the class is a little bit different today, but some of the symbols are all the same. They just might be in different positions nowadays. You would think that's a problem, and you're right, it is. After all, we did this. Which makes that conservation information
Our understanding of the universe is a house.
A problem for some people, because that's that book that'll be used against you. I mean, use that equation against you, you put money into it to have tools and tech like this, to use it into outer space, well, meanwhile, you should have fucking put it here.
Theoretical cosmology are not as
Now,
they
I get
were
somebody's going to give
in
me,
the
well,
early
to point an
days of
asteroid, and I'm going to
physics.
give you, well,
They are not
proportions,
voyages of
partial
blind discovery,
momentums on
but
things,
rather
everything around
finely
here. Well, I'm
tuned
surprised we don't
confirmations
crash
of
into shit
predictions
driving
already
it. It's just
made,
on,
of
going on.
results already hinted.
Because you do already.
The Higgs boson was first predicted in
And if you
1964,
stretch it all the way, you rip it
finally
all the way,
confirmed in 2013,
find an atom there.
just as
Looks like the
expected.
Higgs.
But what scientists really
Well, I
hope
walked
for
into this stone mill.
are surprises.
Stuff
A
happens.
result
Secondary
that
protocol.
topples the house of cards and